there everyone, Server Supreme here, serving you up some fresh new content today. Today what we're going to be doing is, this isn't a game I got open here, but this is the Age of Wonders Shadow Magic editor. I'm not sure if you've ever played it, but Age of Wonders is a game that came out in the early 2000s, at least Shadow Magic did. They had one that came out before that, so this is technically the third installment in the game. But it's very similar to Age of Wonders 2, where I think it uses the same engine and they just added a couple new features and races and things of that nature. I currently have my game updated to user patch 1.4. The community, if you see on Steam, if you own the game on Steam, you'll see there's also a 1.5 and a 1.6 patch, which are pretty much mods, and they do change the game up a little bit. But I don't want to get too far into that now, but I am working on the 1.4 user patch version of this game. So what I'm going to be doing here today is, if anyone is familiar with the Elder Scrolls series at all, you'll be very familiar of what this is. This is the map of Tamriel. And what I want to do today, not that I'm going to finish it here, it's going to be a multi-part series, but I do want to make this map here in the editor and make a new map for people to play and get on. I typically play by email games, which is something that most people might not have heard about. Not too many games have done this. As far as I know, this is the only game I've ever played that had this feature. But basically how that works is, let's say I'm the map creator. I'm going to come in here, I'm going to make the game, and then I'm going to get a group of friends once I have my map completely finished, of course. And everyone has an email address that their games go to. I've actually got a custom Gmail that I use just for my play-by-email games. And you have a nice little program called, the Age of Wonders email wrapper. And I'll show you kind of what this looks like. I've only got a couple games open here, but how this works is you would play your turn. And the map is set up that once I finish my turn and click next turn in game, it'll automatically take the game, send it to the next person's email. They'll get a notification in their email wrapper that it's their turn, and then they get to go ahead and play their turn. And then when they're finished, so on and so forth, until the last person in line does their turn, and then it would send it back to me. So it's a pretty interesting way to play games. Maybe a little bit outdated, but I happen to actually really like it. Some people aren't a big fan, but you are also able to play this as, if you're familiar with the Civilization games, where you can play a game live with people, and then you just take turns playing turns. But the email benefit of it is that for people that have trouble aligning their schedules to get into a game or into something like this, which it does take a little bit of a time to take your turns, it makes it more convenient. So I can come on here before I go to work, play my turn, send it through, and maybe by the time I get home later, if you're just playing with one other person, you can get your game back as fast as they have time to play it. So, or it might take a day where you do one turn a day, you send it through, it goes through everybody, and then maybe by tomorrow, before you go to work again, you've got an opportunity to play this, or whenever is convenient to you. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to use the extra large map size. I am going to have an underground and a shadow world. These maps are pretty interesting where they're tiered. So you'll have the overworld and underworld, and then the shadow world. So I'm going to kind of do the shadow world kind of like little areas of oblivion. You can come in, kill some enemies, get some loot for your heroes, and something similar in the underground where I might put some dwarves underground, kind of like the Dwemer, in little areas that you can go kill some enemies, some CPU enemies, NPCs, and gain some loot for your heroes and things of that nature. Typically, these maps are played till it's like last man standing, or you could have a team victory condition where, if two people are on a team and you're only two people left, you can do that. But, all right, now to jump into this. So our map size is going to be extra large because I'm pretty sure we're going to need the largest map available, 8 players. I'm going to try to map up the races in this game as good as I could to match the races of Tamriel, which I already think they have a couple good races that will fit the categories, like the Khajiit, the Argonians, The only thing I might have trouble with is like separating Nords from Imperials, but we're just going to use the humans, and they'll kind of cover both of those. I'm thinking the Red Guards will be the Nomads. Um, I will put some Frostlings up in the north. I guess we can consider them the Snow Elves if you're familiar with that lore. The Archons will be the High Elves. They do have Dark Elves in this game, so that's perfect. They'll fit right in Morrowind. And you know, I'm going to do my best. I've made a couple maps before, you know, and if anyone was ever interested on figuring out how to use this map editor, hopefully this is a good little tutorial for you. So extra large map size, 8 players. We're going to do a blank map. I'm going to fill it with water. That's usually how I like to do it. And I'm just going to hit OK here. And we're going to start off. So we got our big mass of water here. So again, I've made a few maps before, like 3 or so maps. I've played a few. I'm going to do the best that I can. So let me open up this other picture I had here. I have a couple pictures of Tamriel here I wanted to use. Here's another one. There's another picture I got there, which I'll be using as a reference. So I'm going to just try to do the best that I can. It may not be perfect, and hopefully once this is all finished, if anyone's interested, I could probably put the map up somewhere so everyone can download it and try it out if you have the game. If you don't own the game, I will post a couple videos maybe of gameplay, and you can get an idea, and I think usually you can get it on GOG or Steam for like a couple bucks, like $2 or something like that. But it's something I played in my youth, and at the time I didn't really understand it too well, but now that I'm a little bit older, it's honestly one of the coolest turn-based strategy games I've ever played. So, alright, so basically now the question is, do I start in the middle of the map with Cyrodiil, or do I kind of... I'm just going to move this off to the side here. Got my side monitor here, my streaming monitor. I'll put it over my OBS. But yeah, we'll see. I have a feeling this could come out pretty good. So, all right. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with our terrains here. Maybe I will use the medium-sized palette. And Morrowind is kind of wastelandy and steppe and mushroomy, so we'll see what I can do here. Maybe I'll start with the wasteland and kind of go from there. Let's see, I gotta go as much to the top right as possible. I want to leave a little bit of area here so there's space for water, because there'll be ships and stuff in this game, so people can kind of go around. You know, and this again is a work in progress. I may make this map, get it ready to play, and it might need some tweaking and things of that nature, so who knows. So let's just try to do the best I can here. So we'll start up here, and again, I might just need, you know, there might just be some tweaking here. But yeah, I'm going to just start. I like to just get my basic terrains out of the way, so I'm going to start here and try to do the Isle of Vardenfell. And you know, already I feel like I'm a little bit too far over here, but I know you have Vardenfell, and then you have this outer landmass here, which again, you know what, I'm just doing the wasteland texture because I know Morrowind kind of has this active volcano on there and Red Mountain, so kind of wondering if Dagoth Ur is chilling up in there right now or not, but we shall see. Alright, so make that narrow. Come out here. Again, I might have my sizing off here. I'm trying to, you know, just eyeball this as good as I can. Has that little channel. Maybe we'll even switch to, we'll do some swamp in here. Maybe I'll go a little smaller. And again, like I said, this is going to be a multi-part series. Just kind of down here where Vivek would be, I suppose. We're just going to flesh this out episode by episode. We'll see how far I can get today. I'm on a little bit of a time crunch, but again, we'll see what we can do here. Wasteland, I'll fill this all in. There's a little water pocket here on the map. A little bit, oops, a little bit, oops, a little bit bigger. There we go. I'm gonna go here to step. I know this kind of like curves around. Little bay region here. A little river that goes in, it looks like. This Mournhold will be down here. Again, I'm just kind of looking over at my side screen there and trying to get this as close as I can by eye. I hope I left enough room for Solstheim up here. Do some snow. Solstheim up here. Smaller with it. Shape of Solstheim is kind of like this on the map. This little area that comes off here. Yeah, that looks pretty good, I suppose. Things start to get a little cold. I'm hopeful. Let's see. I guess I can't zoom out any more than that. So I want to say that's a pretty good size for Morrowind. We'll have Red Mountain up here in the middle, I suppose. I'll just put some red for the Red Mountain volcano. And then again, I may be doing this a little bit too small, but we shall see. This is the biggest map size they have, so I'm going to do the best I can to get this all in here. I do hope I do a good job, and everyone does eventually at some point enjoy playing this. Here, and I do know this is going to kind of come over here into Skyrim, so this is pretty much a mountain range over here, so I will put a little snow to designate coming over here into Skyrim. This over here is where that ends. Yeah, mostly the beginning here is just, this is how I like to start. You can start any way you want. You could have started with a whole land map and then filled in the water. I feel like water is the best way to start, and you fill in your land masses, I will do the best I can here to explain anything. This is going to be pretty much a pretty basic, boring part here, and I don't know how much commentary I really can put on just drawing a map, but I will do the best that I can. All right. It's a little trickier than I thought. So the way I'm looking at it is it takes up about a third of the map over here, Morrowind, so maybe I'll have this come down just a little bit more here. This too, this can probably color this in a little bit. Just kind of get my land right. dot of water here for Vivek City. Again, I might need to add a little bit more swamp here to kind of give it some space to actually put the city down. Let's see what this is going to look like. Vivek would be on this tip there. Yeah, so just kind of get an idea. So I can come in here, right click, edit. I'm going to obviously set all these up to maybe some historical characters. Race going to be dark elves. Do just city, max good city, defenders none for right now. Name VIVEC for Vivek. I'll try to give it like actual historical names and stuff. Obviously, that's not what Vivek City looks like, but it's alright. It is a dark elf city, though. I think that looks pretty good. Not too bad, all things considered. You know that too, I can even raise the terrain up here. Make Red Mountain a little more mountainy. A little more lava in there. Maybe I'll put a little more wasteland up here, actually. Look at that wonderful red mountain we got there. Oh, and then, of course, save. The editor is slightly buggy. I've had times where it just crashes on me. This is, again, it's from the early 2000s, so it's probably about 20 years old. So, I'll just call this Tamriel. IEL. Version 0.1. Or maybe, Battle. Fort Tamriel. Alright, it's not bad. We got our first little city place there. You know, all the main races, again, are going to be people like human players, you know. So it'll be, we got Dark Elves for the Dark Elves, or the Dunmer, because they prefer to be called that. You know, there's Tigrans, they'll be the Khajiits. We have Draconians, they'll be the Argonians. Humans will be, I guess, the Imperial/Nords. We'll have the Frostlings. I guess we'll make them the Snow Elves. So we'll just say this is based back maybe in the first era or something like that. Who even knows? Vivek probably didn't even exist at that point. But you know what? We're splitting hairs here. So all right, let me get back to. Let me go over here and start fleshing out who would be Skyrim. So nothing comes really as high as the point on Solstheim. So go down. I want to go just straight across. Gotta add some texture to our land here. So probably come over to the edge of the middle. Another mountain range here. Kind of like curve in a bit. This will come down to a little less than middle, I want to say. So Vec is here. Valmora's probably a little bit over here. Is that just the south here of this? So we'll just come over and say this is going to be close to. So Balmora and Riften are probably really close. So we'll do that and cut across. Imperial City will be in the center of the map. So maybe let me try to mark that really quick. Middle here. I want to say this is probably about where the Imperial City will be. Kind of has that weird little little leg off of it there. Kind of comes down just a little bit over here. A little water drop right there. Right in the middle, we will drop as close to the middle as possible. Say it's more. Say it would be right there. Edit that. I'm just going to keep everything independent at this point. Humans. City, defenders, none. Okay. That's going to be our Imperial City there. And it does connect to like a landmass on the top right of this. So we will kind of, when it goes out, there's a river down there. There's a space on this side. So I want to make sure I keep that little bit of space there. Oh, this is probably like, this does not look like Tamriel could serve, but you know what? I'm doing the best that I can. And you know what? Who knows? It might be a horrible map, might be a great map, but at least I can say I tried. Listen. This will pretty much come here. I might not have given it enough space, but we shall see. Maybe making Cyrodiil a little bit on the large side. But again, I could always tweak this. I can always edit the map. I'm not going to try to get too detailed right now. This is just going to be a rough. I think I'm even spending too much time trying to flesh this out here. I really just need to get like a rough design going. And then just kind of flesh it out from there. Let me go bigger. Again, there's going to be mountains and all kinds of rivers and stuff, and I will try to be as detailed as possible here. I don't know if anyone's ever done this, but I will be the first person, I think, on YouTube to post a video about it. So, and this is definitely going to be a multi-part series, because there is no way I'm going to be able to finish this in one video unless you want to sit on like a 12-hour video, and I go to work relatively soon, so that is definitely something that's not going to happen. Or if anyone's interested, maybe I could live stream this and people can ask questions or maybe put a little bit of input in. Although I think it's not going too bad. Again, I might have to bring this out for Morrowind a little bit here. I know it's thin up until there. It starts to widen out just a little bit. That. Yeah, because there's that mountain range there. This will come down pretty much a little bit further than the Imperial City. And then that goes into, what is below that, Black Marsh? Yeah. And the Argonians are probably a little upset because Morrowind has been taking their people and enslaving them. And I'd be a little disappointed as well. I say pretty soon this actually should be kind of more swampy here. got like a little river that runs down through here. I'll try to preserve that a bit. Kind of like runs into like the mountain range over here, a little bit south of the Imperial City. So yeah, I might have my sizing. Morrowind might have to be a little bit longer, but again. This is not meant to be perfect right away. Get a little swampy with it here. This is pretty much where it starts to get a little bit more swampy. Black marsh here. Again, I might have gotten my size off. Definitely think so. This basically goes way closer to the bottom, probably like here. That's way too long for black marsh. So again, no worries. So I can just come in here, cut this back a little bit, make Morrowind just a tad bigger. And the lovely thing about this map editor is it supports cut and paste functionality. Make Morrowind a little bit longer here. A little bit more water here. A little bit more swampiness coming down this way. We'll cut and paste with X City. Cut. Put that right over here. Paste. Wonderful. Kind of fill in a little bit. More swampy this way. More step. Oop, that's beach. My bad. And maybe I'll even come in and give it a little bit more of the thickness. Do a quick save. Black March still looks a little bit too long here, but you know what, I always can cut it back a little bit from the south. Give myself a little more space like that. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. I'll cut that back a little bit more. Add a little grassland down here. So that's the bottom there. It actually goes to the river that would open up to the Imperial City. A little bit thinner here. I'll kind of come this way with it. Bay, the Nepean Bay. A little more swamp on the other side. Not looking too bad. Not looking too bad. Just want to make sure everyone gets like a nice, decent amount of land here. Give them a little bit more of that. Oh, nope, nope, nope. No one. Nope, not that one either. A little bit more land here for Morrowind. There we go, and not a bad start. So I will kind of give it a little pause here, guys. I will continue working on this later because I do need to take a break here for a little bit. I have some things come up, but I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked part 1, and I hope you continue watching until I complete it. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you like my content, and come back and see how this fleshes out. And again, if you just kind of want to play it when it's all finished, I will post it up for you guys. Just let me know. All right, thank you very much. Come see me again.